It is nice to inform you that the Campaign for Liberty has over 500,000 members, and it is growing strong. And yeah.
What Ron Paul wants to do. Paul Wolfowitz is fucking wrong. What Ron Paul wants to do. No.
One of the Chuck Norris. Do you ever heard of him?
No. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. I hear
Anyway,
your tears cure cancer. Too bad you don't cry.
No. Listen, Chuck, America's not a democracy. It's a Chuck-tatorship. Now, if that was true, I would go to Washington. I'd line up every member of Congress. And I have Ron Paul, who I believe is one of the more honest men in Washington. I say, Ron, point out the honest politicians and the dishonest politicians.
I don't know.
And as we're walking down the line, he say he's honest. Now he's dishonest. I'd walk up to him and I'd say, you're fired. And if he didn't move immediately, I'd choke him unconscious and drag him over to the pile.
Okay, all right.
Are you backing anyone in next year's U.S. presidential election?
Well, yes, a pox on both of their houses, as far as I'm concerned, the Democrats and the Republicans. I always vote, but I don't pay too much attention to them because I know they're pretty hopeless. However, in this election, if Ron Paul gets anywhere near the nomination, I will certainly support him. I mean, he's the only one that I've seen in American politics that seems to have a clue about what's going on.
I was thinking and knowing a little bit about your libertarian roots, Clint, where they're kind of like Ron Paul.
Ron Paul he's talking about fiscal responsibility. That certainly is something I like. I've always advocated if everybody just leave everybody alone instead of trying to manipulate everyone else's life. I know that's easier said than done, and the temptation politically is to get in and involve yourself with every last minutia that people are involved with.
My name is Roy Miller. I'm a retired Air Force officer, a businessman in Arizona, and co-founder of the Goldwater Institute. I support Ron Paul for president because I believe that government has only one legitimate purpose: to defend our liberty.
My name is Barry Goldwater, and I support Ron Paul for President of the United States. I know Ron Paul. We served together in the House of Representatives. He's one of the most honest and genuine men I've ever met. Ron Paul believes in a strong national defense, but not being the policeman of the world.
I began my career just like Ron, as a member of the United States Air Force. I share his love for our country and his fear of our government's recent actions. Ron Paul is clearly our best hope for America.
Dr. Paul has been involved in politics because he has something very important and meaningful to say, and he has devoted himself to spreading that message, which is very rare. His philosophies are consistent. They do not waver based on political polls or public opinion. His principles are based in fact and logic, which is rooted in the very foundation of America. We are all very lucky to have a voice like his out there, and we need to have more out there that are like his. It is my great honor tonight to present to you Dr. Ron Paul.
But I'm talking about Ron Paul.
Condoleezza, man.
Not RuPaul. Ron Paul.
Well, Ron Paul and RuPaul. Very
Read the Constitution. I read the Constitution is what I'm saying.
So now with Pawlenty dropping out, Rick Perry dropping in, and Michelle Bachmann and Ron Paul dominating the Ames straw poll, we got ourselves a race.
We have a top tier. It is Mitt Romney, Rick Perry, and Michelle Bachmann.
We have a new top tier, and it's Perry, Mitt Romney, and Bachmann.
There's now a top tier in this race, at least for now, of Romney, Perry, and Bachmann.
I mean, I think that's fair to say. Really fair to say? You're not forgetting, I don't know, anyone, say an ideologically consistent 12-term congressman who came within less than 200 votes of winning the straw poll? Isn't anyone going to give that gentleman a little love?
There's a top tier now of Bachmann and Perry and Romney, and, you know, we haven't mentioned, and we should.
Thank you.
We haven't mentioned, and we should, Rick Santorum, who did really surprisingly well for the amount of money and resources he had.
Rick Santorum? He didn't get half of what Ron Paul got. He lost to the guy who lost so bad he dropped out of the race. Santorum?
We're looking at Mitt Romney, who continues to be the front runner, but we have Rick Perry as well, and now Michelle Bachmann. Let's not count out John Huntsman, though.
What? John Huntsman? Huntsman got 69 votes.
Why is the media ignoring you to the extent to not mention you at number 2 in the poll? They mention number 1 and 3. Why?
Good question. I don't know if I have the answer because we have to ask those who do those kind of things. I believe personally that I am gaining recognition in the campaign, and it's a threat to a lot of people. It's a threat to the military-industrial complex. It's a threat to the bankers, the big corporations who get all the benefit. It's a threat to the people who preach that we have to be in the world and be in all these countries. So I think it's big banks, big money, big corporations, and the people who want to be the warmongers. If our views, you know, keep growing in popularity as they are, it's a real threat to the establishment. So the establishment is well protected in many of those individuals that control the 5 major networks.